know, y'all, I feel like certain things need to be between me and my doctor. I feel like as a school, you should, I want you to be more concerned with my brain. Ask me about seizures. Ask me about my heart. Ask me about breathing. Ask me about issues like that. But how often, when I first had, how long in between, anything going on with my cycle, that's not for my coach. What's my coach gonna do with that information? That's basically where my question is coming in, because we're giving this information to the coaches from the doctor to let the coach know that we are physically able to do this sport. How does any of this have anything to do with my physical abilities of participating in this sport? I'll wait. Make this make sense. This is why this is under make this make sense, because it absolutely doesn't make sense. None of this is your business. At least not in my mind. It's just that's just too much. That's between me and my doctor. Now, if my doctor came in and was like, oh, okay, well, I see you've been doing gymnastics and pole vaulting and everything else. You know what I'm saying? What's your menstrual cycle like? Because this could be, going into what you eating and how you doing. You know what I'm saying? If my doctor is like, oh, I see you're having issues and you're now anorexic, what's your menstrual cycle like? Then that's an issue. But just to be like, oh, I want to run track, or I want to play tennis, or I want to be on the volleyball team, and you asking about my reproductive, what does my reproductiveness have to do with running? Make that make sense. I don't understand. Now, if there's a doctor out there, is there a doctor in the house? Is there a doctor out there who can try to make this understandable for me? Call in 404-254-4347. But if there's not, I'd like to know, parents, if you saw that on your daughter's paperwork, would you question it, or would you just have her fill it out? Would you question it? Because I'm not gonna lie, I would question. I would pause. I would pause and be like, don't worry about filling that out. Or, which I think is going to happen more than anything, there's going to be a lot of lying. No one's going to tell you the truth on this. 15, 16, 17-year-old girls ain't paying attention to this information. Hell, I'm 40. And when my doctor, I've been asked that. I laughed at a doctor one time. The doctor was like, do you know when you had your first period? I said, when I was an adolescent. What are you asking me? What are you asking me? I was older than 7. I was younger than 17. There it is. That's the answer. Like, I don't get that. That is the dumbest thing ever. And again, like I said, because males don't have to, men, y'all really don't go through the amount of physical changes that a woman goes through. Okay. And if y'all do, y'all physical changes aren't something that can have mental repercussions. You know what I'm saying? Like, men never have to deal with the fact that your boobies are coming in and now all of a sudden people are paying attention to your chest, right? 6 months ago, nobody said nothing about my chest. Now all of a sudden it's like, oh, you got little grapes, or oh, your little apples, I see you're budding. And then you got them nasty old men that want to whistle at you and, oh, you gonna be fine as hell one day. Men never have to worry about an older woman coming up to them and being like, oh, I see your balls are dropping. Like, what the hell? You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all don't have those issues that we have. And don't laugh. Mr. Wild Seed is over here cracking up. But y'all don't go through the things that we go through. And like, for a woman, that very first time that you have to go into the store and you have to purchase pads and products and stuff like that, hearing the person or feeling fear that the person at the counter is going to say something. So you go buy 4 or 5 extra things that you honestly don't need, just so it don't look like you came in the store just because your cycle started. Like, we go through shit. Women go through stuff, and men, you'll never understand it. You'll never understand that the feeling of the worry that we go through. You know what I'm saying? And I feel as though this is completely invasive and unnecessary. Let's see. Teacher Anitra said, I think it might be put in place to see who is a real woman or not. And then, okay, so look, if that's the case, then just deal with the ban that y'all got going on. If you're not allowing transgender athletes to compete, or they have to compete under their birth gender, then make the original birth certificate be necessary to compete in sports. But don't affect every other woman just because you're trying to figure out who ain't what you think they are. You know what I'm saying? Like, I shouldn't be subjected to that just because you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. Like, I don't, And yes, Rodney, I said dropping balls. And since that was funny, let me just go ahead and add that over here as a clip. Because it is. I mean, y'all don't have to deal with stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all don't have to deal with the fact that people can actually see you change from a boy to a man. You know what I'm saying? As a woman, we're seen as I'm sorry, dropping balls. That was funny. We're seen for our changes, and it's the craziest thing that you watch our maturity happen, and everybody got something to say about it. It's not just men. Women be saying stuff too. You know what I'm saying? We say stuff to our daughters and to our cousins. I know I've said stuff. One of my cousins, she started developing, and the first thing out my mouth was, damn, your titty's bigger than mine. And everybody was laughing. But as I think about it now, I probably really embarrassed her, or I probably made her feel very uncomfortable because I brought attention to something that right now she's still getting used to. You know what I mean? And I probably, you know what? I'm going to go and I'm apologize. Well, it was a while ago, so she might not remember, but I still feel as though I need to apologize to her for that. And that, people, is being an adult. When you realize that you transgressed, you should not have to be asked to apologize. Once you realize that you did something that might have hurt a person or might have made a person feel uncomfortable, as an adult, I shouldn't have to ask you to apologize. You should know that, you know what, I was kind of fucked up. Let me go ahead and apologize. Mr. Wowsey said, you know what, I hate this for my daughter. And unfortunately, men, you'll never really understand the looks, the different things that happen. You know what I'm saying? That moment where, and this is a big one in the Black community, especially, that moment where it goes from you can wear whatever you want around the house and nobody gives a damn, to them saying there's men in the house, you got to cover up. And it's like, damn, these is my people. Why should I have to cover up from them? But because your body has changed and you're no longer an adolescent, all of a sudden it becomes an issue, even if this is your family. You know what I'm saying? And it's weird. It's very, very, very weird. You know what I'm saying? And this right here is just, I feel as though this is an invasion. This is a definite invasion. Yeah. So, you know, there it is. I'd like to know what y'all feel about that. Would you fill out the form? Would you let your child fill out the form in completion? Would you have issues about it? Or, you know, like, how would you deal with that?